Welcome to CNC Premium Cars and our first car review here on YouTube. So today we have a Ferrari 296 GTB for you, which at first glance maybe doesn't look too special, but when you look closer, and since we dressed it up with some pretty cool Novitec parts, you will see it's more or less quite unique and not so your normal Rosso Corsa Ferrari. Before we come to the parts that make this car really special, I want to show you the car, or the base car, so to speak. Here we have the typical resale red Rosso Corsa, which you find on almost any or almost every Ferrari nowadays. And the interior, as you can see, is also held in black, which, yeah, is not too special, but of course it suits a Ferrari pretty well and therefore is always a good choice. So here in the front we have the adaptive front light system. This is an optional extra, but you have to take it if you take the front axle lift system, because otherwise if you lift the car, the headlights might shine into the eyes of your upcoming traffic, and therefore you have to take the adaptive front lights, which then automatically lower the beam of the lights. Then what catches your eye here is the black roof. This is not standard, this is also an optional extra. Usually the roof would be red, but in this case, to give it a little bit more of accent, this one is black. And here we have a little spoiler, which gives you some extra downforce. On the outside there's not so many special options which were ordered with the car. We have the prancing horses, the Scuderia shields on the fenders, which you also find on almost every Ferrari nowadays. We have the yellow brake calipers. I personally probably would have chosen red, but it's always a matter of taste. And we have the carbon fiber rims. These cost almost 25,000 euros when you order them by factory, which is quite a lot. Let's jump into the interior and I'm going to show you what's happening here. So when we enter the car, what you will immediately notice is this, the red contrast stitching. This is an optional extra, which not any car has. You have to order it by factory. You find it here on the upper door, on the lower part of the door, here on the inside of the steering wheel, and at this piece here. So one major change that has been made in the recent years at Ferrari is you don't have a manual or mechanical door lever anymore, but only this button to open the doors. So when you're inside the car, you can grab it like this, push the button, and the door unlocks. But in case that your battery dies or the electronics aren't working properly, you still have this, the backup latch. You can click it out here and pull, and then you can manually unlock the door. Then on this door we also find these three buttons. First, obviously, to open the front. Second, to open the lid for the fuel tank. And third, to open the lid for accessing the charging port, since it's a hybrid vehicle. Since the introduction of the 296 and as of 90 Stradale, the steering wheel has substantially changed in comparison to, let's say, F8, 488, 458, 812 Superfast, and whatever. You have now a much more complex steering wheel with many touch controls and some mechanical buttons like shifting pedals, indicator lights, or for example the Manettino, which is cool because this is what a Ferrari makes a Ferrari. Also here on the left of the steering wheel you have many touch controls. For the mirrors, for example, you have to set them up with these touch buttons. You can fold them in by a press of the button. The parking camera you can activate. You can lift and lower the front axle in case you have this option like this one has. And of course the light settings are also here on the left. On the right of the steering wheel we have pretty much the exact same display or touch controls like on the left, but in this case for the aircon. In front of you you have this very big and massive full digital screen. Everything's digital, nothing's analog anymore. On the right you have some car status like the tire pressure, tire temperature, or what else you want to see. You can switch between the different views and what you want to see. On the left you have the map, and in the front, as on all the Ferraris, you have the big rev counter, but as I said, digital and not analog. On the passenger side we have something which is now standard in all the Ferrari 296 models, at least, the passenger display. In the previous models you had to order these for about 4,000 euros. Now they come standard in the 296. Here on the center console we also have a new design compared to the old models. We have here the shifts for automatic shifting mode and manual shifting mode, so that you only shift by the pedals. You can put it in reverse. Here you have the controls for your windows, right and left. Of course, the hazards and the mandatory or compulsory SOS button. Also, what's special here on this car, around the passenger display you have here carbon fiber. This is also a cost option, doesn't come standard, but this car has it. Then what's special on this car is we have the carbon fiber racing seats. They're called like this because the whole back is made from carbon fiber, and of course they are a bit more sportier than the comfort seats. You have here also the optional extra of the stitching or the stitched prancing horse, this time here in yellow. We have the colored inner details in red, which might look a little bit odd to some of you. Normally people take in the same colors, but this time we have two different colors here. Now that we're finished with the interior, let's get a little bit technical. Let's get to the most interesting part of every Ferrari, its heart, or the engine. Here we have the turbocharged 3-liter V6 engine, which together with the electric engine produces an output of over 830 horsepower. Both the combustion engine and the electric engine power only the rear wheels and enable you to sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.9 seconds. Now let's get to the parts that make this 296 really special. If you take a close look in here, you will see a Novitec badge, which is, since the whole exhaust system is from Novitec. We replaced the stock exhaust with an Inconel high-performance exhaust from Novitec. The car is completely decatted, so it's very, very loud and gives this car a phenomenal sound. Now let's hear what this exhaust sounds like. So as you can see here, we didn't only change the exhaust under the hood, but also here, the exhaust tips. The standard one tip exhaust had to be replaced by these two distinct dual tips from Novitec. But the exhaust tips are not the only cosmetic changes. Also the diffuser and the rear spoiler and this fixed spoiler has been changed. The diffuser looks like original, but is also from Novitec, since the original car came with a plastic non-optional diffuser. In case of the spoiler lip, we have gone for the small variant. There's also a big ducktail, but this is a little bit more subtle and in my opinion suits the car much better than the big one. Below the doors we have these full carbon fiber side skirts. They're of course also from Novitec and a little bit more aggressive than the standard or the optional Ferrari side skirts. And last but not least, we have these front spoiler lips, also full carbon fiber, also from Novitec. They look like the original Ferrari front spoiler lips that come with the Assetto Fiorano, but since this car is a non-Fiorano car, we have the Novitec parts. We hope you enjoyed our first car review here on YouTube. Let us know what you think about this 296 and especially the Novitec tuning, and make sure to subscribe to not miss any of our future videos. Thanks and see you soon.